everybody, it's Ashley with you for this week's Ink to Paper Saturday Showcase feature. And this is the second video in this week's video series for Watercolor Textures Brushstrokes. Say that 5 times fast. Alright, so I am going to be featuring one way you can build a pattern and stamp a pattern using the this medium-size rectangle stamp image that is like a brushstroke in the Watercolor Textures Brushstroke stamp set. I'm going to be building a pattern with pastels, and so let's go ahead and take a look at the card that I finished with it. But I will show you how to actually stamp the actual pattern throughout the video. This is the card that I will be showing how to make. Not actually the card, but this particular pattern you see behind the vellum. And I stamped it using that size of the watercolor brushstroke stamp. And what I did was I built the pattern, and I explained in the video how I built the pattern. I just picked my color palette and stamped it on a 4" by 6" sheet of paper. To actually finish out the card, I added a piece of vellum so you could actually see the pattern and it does not get hidden. And then I added some heat embossed sentiment and then embellished with a few sequins. So let's take a look on how I actually built this watercolor brushstroke pattern in the background here. Alright, so in this video I'm going to be using Watercolor Textures Brushstrokes mini stamp set. Retails for $6 from Ink to Paper. And this stamp set comes with 4 different types of brushstrokes. You have the long rectangle, the skinny rectangle, the shorter rectangle, and then kind of like a square splotch kind of look size. And so I am going to be focusing on this shorter rectangle, and that's already here on my block. And I'm going to be building a pattern using these colors. I'm using Harvest Gold by Papertrey, Pale Peony, Lavender Moon, and Aqua Mist. And basically you can build whatever pattern you want. I've built like a brick style pattern. It looks really cool with 2 different colors. What I recommend is choosing your colors first. If you just want 2 colors and alternate back and forth, that's cool. I think 3 colors works well. The more you add, the different kind of design and color palette you kind of get. So I'm just going to start with trying to map out a pattern based off of the size, the length of the actual stamp. So I'm going to try to fit in 3 more stamped images that fits the length of each stamp, and then kind of repeat the pattern from there. So I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to start with Lavender Moon. And I'm just going to stamp it right in the middle here. Alright, and then from here you'll start seeing how I'm going to build the actual pattern. And I'm going to go with Harvest Gold next. And what I'm going to do is see if I can build 3 of these side by side. It's kind of close. So there's 1. Next up, I'm going to choose Aqua Mist. And I'm going to kind of get a little bit closer so I can make sure I fill these in. And it's okay if they overlap. Alright, and then the last one, I'm going to choose the last color, which is Pale Peony. And this one's going to hang off a little bit off of the edge of the card. And as you see here, I have completed it where these 3 are fitting the length of this one. So I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Alright. So I just built it like now. You don't have to do it this way. I could have stamped the Harvest Gold at the same time. But I wanted you to kind of talk you through how I built it at the same time so not confuse you. When you're building a pattern, of course you can be very symmetrical, but it's not required. You can pretty much choose the pattern that you want and make it be random or symmetrical, balanced, whatever it might be. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm ready to move on to the next section here. What I'm going to do is stamp something right here. I think I'm going to use pale peony since it's the furthest color. And that makes this kind of balance out. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to pick Harvest Gold on this side to block it in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is start with my 3 colors here. So I'm going to use probably one of the purples since I haven't used that as often. I'm actually going to flip it and use it on this side to make sure I have enough purple on here. Next up, I'm going to use the yellow on this side, but I'm not going to use the yellow on the other side. A little bit of the Aqua Mist here. A tiny bit of pale peony just to get that corner in there, some color. Alright, so now I keep building my pattern. Now what am I going to do next? Put Aqua Mist here. Aqua Mist down here to balance that out. And I think I'm going to do another one here at the bottom. And the same thing right here, just to complete it and fill in all of my cardstock. Alright, so the main thing is picking a color palette. The next thing is just picking a pattern and just kind of flowing with it. And you can create your own cute little watercolor brushstrokes pattern paper. Again, you can do lots of things with it. You can die cut things with this, shapes, tags, or you can use this actually as your background. You can use it for borders, will be cute. Focal points, add some vellum overlay, will be really pretty. Add a stamp sentiment, a die cut sentiment, add layers with die cut layers of shapes, and it'll be a really cool way to incorporate color, pattern, and texture with that brushstroke image behind the scenes there. Okay everybody, that wraps up our second video in the Watercolor Textures Brushstrokes video series for this week's Saturday Showcase. I hope you enjoyed watching my process on how I built my pattern with soft pastel colors using that medium rectangular image from Watercolor Textures Brushstroke stamp set. Such a fun image and so many ways you can use it. This is just one way. I like to build my own patterns and stamp them because I can choose whatever pattern I want and whatever colors I want and make it fit any project. So not only will this be cool for cards, but it'll be great also for scrapbooking, those little inserts in the pocket scrapbooks or full scrapbook pages as well. So I hope this video has inspired you to get stamping with Watercolor Textures Brushstroke stamp set. And I hope you stay with me and watch the third video in this series for this week's Saturday Showcase.